What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney the CEO, and I am so excited to have you back for another week, another fire segment. Tonight's show is especially special to me because the guest I have is completely outside of the box. So I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box. Back. Now, tonight's guest, he is young, okay? He's a young black entrepreneur, and he has brought community together through his clothing line, through his conversations in the barbershop, and through his music. So I want you guys to give a warm welcome for Traymon. What's going on, Traymon?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm great. I just want to say that I'm so excited about tonight's segment. There's going to be so many gems and surprises lined up throughout this show. But before I put the wagon before the horse, I want to give you an opportunity to tell our listeners and our watchers who you are and what all you do.
Okay. My name is Traymon. I'm an artist all around. I'm a barber, I'm a model, fashion designer, stylist, musician. I know it sounds like a lot, but like I said, I'm an artist all around. I put my passion in everything I do because my work tends to speak for itself, whether it be through the fade, through the quality of what you're wearing, or what you're listening to. I'm an artist, so yeah.
So for those that don't know, where are you from?
Oh yeah, Mo City.
Where the girls are pretty.
Mo City and No City, baby. Houston, Texas. Let's get it.
Now, I know who you are, and we'll get to how I know who you are, but before stepping out and betting on yourself on Traymon, can you give our listeners and our viewers a little insight of what was life like before you stepped out and bet on yourself?
Growing up, I've always had bits and pieces of being an entrepreneur. I mean, it displayed whenever I was in school because I used to always sell food and snacks and stuff like that. But I endured a lot. I survived a drive-by shooting when I was in middle school to where I had to relocate from my mom's house and move with my dad, and that created a whole other world. The way I like to explain to people, I come from I'm half ghetto, half educated, and what I mean by that is like, when I grew up in the Mo, it's the Mo, like, it has its rough parts. They built it up now, but it has its rough parts. And then when I moved with my father, it was a lot more structured. But it was also, it was a double-edged sword, because while he built me up and he taught me a lot of things to be a man, he also tried to block out that entrepreneurship window that I had for myself. So before I became Traymon, all I knew was go to college. Even though I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do, it was a goal of mine to do that, specifically, not even for myself, but I just wanted to be my mom's first kid to say they went to college, you know what I mean? But, things didn't play out that way. I do plan on going, maybe, just to get like an associate's, but...
No, I was just going to ask you that because you actually graduated top 11% of your class, and although your parents had high hopes for you going to college, you decided to get a trade instead. So what inspired that?
Honestly, I was given an ultimatum. And my father was like, I either got to get a second job or I got to go to school, otherwise I can't stay here for free. And so he said if I went to school, I could stay here for free. Now, he wasn't specific on what kind of school. So I kind of used that. I know what he meant, but I kind of used school. It was like, let me become a barber. And the reason I chose barber out of all trades is because when I was in high school, people did that, and I seen they made decent money. They wore decent clothes, you know what I mean? And then you network, you get to set your own prices, your own schedule. why not? You know?
Right.
So.
And that also was an advantage of not starting your life out in debt.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
With like the student loans and stuff like that.
Nah, I can't do that.
So, now while maintaining your high GPA, you also worked at Starbucks, and you maintained your studies and saved up for your first car that you actually bought yourself. How did that make you feel when you bought your first car?
It was cool. I mean, I felt proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like, considering no one gave me any money to get my first car, like it was all me. You know, that I had a sense of pride with that. On top of that, it looked like a race car. You know what I mean? It was cool.
Yeah, because that car like literally became your transportation between work and barber school after you graduated high school.
Yeah.
But on your way from your dad's house, oh God. So on your way to your mom's house from your dad's house, you fell asleep behind a wheel. And oh my God, okay, I'm gonna spill the beans. That was like the most scariest thing that moment, right? It was scary for me because you called me and you was like, "Ma, I've been in an accident."
See my mom, guys.
And I don't want to get
you.
So when I saw your location, I went to your location and the car was like smashed up in the front.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find you. And when I walked up on you, you were walking like, it really looked like a scene at the movie because they had all these cop cars and ambulance and they had all this smoke. And it was like you just came walking through the smoke towards me. And I was like, thank you, Lord. That's all I can say is thank you, Lord, because for you to get out of that car and walk away from it.
It had nothing but God.
Yeah.
If I wasn't wearing that seatbelt, I would have flew out that windshield. Literally.
So what went through your mind? What was going through your mind at that time of your life? Because that essentially was your transportation between your mom and your dad's house, school, work, your dream. You had started modeling at that time, and now, you know, you just started venturing off into beyond barber school, right? How did that make you feel losing that vehicle that you bought yourself?
Well, to be honest, am I allowed to curse? No.
Yeah, it's uncensored. But I'm your mama. Another gem I just dropped. But yeah, it's uncensored. You grown. He about to be, he 22, so you grown.
Yeah. The first thing I thought of was, oh, man, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I was literally a month into barber school. On top of that, I was paying for school myself. School, I got no financial aid, no financial assistance from neither parent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm proud of you for that. Shout out.
I had to sell, just to keep in mind, I had to sell clothes and shoes just to still afford. I sold my favorite pair of shoes, my Travis Scott ones, the OG high tops. Those were collectibles. I sold those just so I could afford to pay for school. You know what I mean? And like, my thing was, I had just started. And so to start catching Ubers to school and to work and to be paying $500 a month, making only $12 an hour, I was literally making ends meet. So it was just like, I wasn't gonna let it stop me though, because whatever I start, I gotta finish.
Right.
So I was able to pull together my resources, and people were nice enough to help me. But to answer your question, I was really just more stressed out about the fact that I wasn't gonna be able to get myself around anymore. Like, I had to depend on others. And
but you actually finished.
Yeah.
So you went to barber school. In 11 months you finished.
Got my license.
So now you got your license, and now you have become a luxury barber. Like, your prices are nice, but your work is nicer. You know what I'm saying? So you booked in busy. How does that feel to be able to know that you put yourself through school, you lived through an ultimatum, you had to really do it on your own, because we don't come from the land of handouts. We come from the land to build character.
I hate that.
Yeah.
God, stop parenting y'all's kids like that, because while it builds character, that does not mean you can't assist your children if they really, really need it. They can still have that character of getting it on their own, but if they really, really need it, it's okay to help.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you have it.
If you're in a position to.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. If you're in a position to help, most definitely. And speaking of that, we'll get back to help in a minute, but I wanted to acknowledge now you're going through, you got another car, you know, through the help of family. You know what I'm saying? A shout out to Grandma, Mama Gloria.
Love you, Mom.
So, yeah, so she looked out because, you know, like, hey, we still a village. You know, not all help is monetary. But you was a young man trying. You was trying to get to school. You was trying to get to work. And, hey, I never try to make it seem like I'm the rich mom on the block. You see my hustle. You see I work a million jobs to make it all come together. So me and my mom talked, and she was like, man, let's just give him a car for him to get back and forth to school. And then when he get where he want to get, he can get what he really want. But even in that instance, the Thanksgiving Eve, you were just minding your business at a light, and a drunk driver came and totally smacked the car and totaled that car. Now, the average 19, 20-year-old kid would have folded under them circumstances, because it seemed like every time you got up, something came to knock you back down. What was your motivation to keep going after losing your second car?
I mean, that if I could do it once, I could do it again. Like you know, it's one of those things where if I'm gonna, like I said, if I'm gonna start something, I'm gonna finish it, and I don't want to just. At the time, I was already finished with school and I was working, so believe it or not, after that rear end accident, keep in mind I had back pain. So I was still going to physical therapy. I was working 2 jobs. I was working as a server at Papados and being a full-time barber still. Being full-time with both. So I literally had 0 off days, 6 months straight off for back injury. But I was determined to get another car. Now the thing about it was, the first 2 cars I had were lemons. They were great cars, but I spent more on maintenance than on anything else. So my goal and my motivation to get out of that, even though I was putting my body through pain is temporary. That's how I look at it. Pain is weakness leaving the body. So my goal was to get myself a car that I wouldn't have to pay left and right to keep maintaining. And so I was able, after 6 months of working hard, I ended up saving up to get a car that was newer than me, a 2021 Nissan Altima. So, and I was blessed to say I put $2,000 down, and you know I got that with my own money. No one helped me out. Nobody was with me. Actually, shout out to Lenzo. He was with me whenever I went to sign my car papers. And
I remember when you called, you was like,
yeah,
I was like, ah!
You know what I'm saying? But I got it on my own. Nobody gave me no money to do it. Nobody, you know what I mean? So all glory to God, obviously, because I wouldn't have been able to persevere through that. But I'm just thankful the way everything played out. Like that was my motivation, though, to get myself a brand new car to where I didn't have to depend on, to where I didn't have to lose money on maintenance.
But while you were going through all of that, like, because I sat back and I watched you, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, even though, like I said, we don't come from the land of handouts, but even when I'd be like, well, you need me to do this, you need me to do that, you'd be like, no, Ma, I got it. I'll let you know. Like, especially when it came down to your business. Even when it came down to your modeling, like, even if I couldn't necessarily fund you, I wanted to introduce you to the right people. And you were like, nah, Ma, I want to get in those rooms on my own. And I was the same way. So even after losing your cars and having an Uber, you were still pushing through your modeling. Modeling was something that I remember you saying, I want to model, you know, I want to have my clothing line, I want to model. And modeling would open the door for me, you know, whatever, to get in there. So your modeling career, where were you in your life when you realized that it's actually happening? You're modeling different brands.
I want to say that began in January 2025. That's when it actually became serious, because I just knew I wanted 2025 to be my most productive year as far as growing my personal brand. So that way, whenever I do start my own brand, I have my own name. Like, it's not just, oh, who is this guy starting this brand? Like, no, I actually wanted to model for other brands because, one, I mean, it's a way to get free clothes. I love clothes. But two, it's also the connections you meet. You meet so many different other models, and some of those models own brands themselves.
Right.
So it's like soaking up knowledge, soaking up game from people that I was building genuine connections with, you know what I mean? Not to say I was using them or nothing like that, but it was more so that was the community,
Yeah, you build your own community. Like, it's like the film and the film world, the media world, it's like it's a community of us up here, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So speaking of community, this show has been powered by Lost Vizion. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
High precision, and Lost Vizion, high precision, and Lost Vizion, high precision, and Lost Vizion, high precision, and Lost Vizion. How we living, 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 God damn it, how we living. That money in my veins, I do this for the game. At 2 a.m. it's time of going crazy, feeling swing. I jump in like a diver, say I'm flowing through the lane. Too flooded in this ice and it froze up all the pain. I soak up game just like a scrunchie. Crazy, he that nigga in the hood and they still call his ass a fucking monkey. Young, dumb, opposites and junkie.
Now we are going back to modeling, right? So you were modeling, but then you decided to officially launch your brand. And one thing you did with launching your brand, you didn't just pop out with something. You actually did your due diligence, like getting in contact with people that can design quality clothing, like not the shirts that you put in the washing machine.
No, I ain't want no.
And shrink. Like you did it big the first go round. And you didn't miss, right? So what was your aha moment to know that it's time to drop this?
Really, I started as a barber. My biggest support system were my clients. And so I spent really on estimate about a year to year and a half designing, and I literally in my iPad, I had a whole bunch of designs because I wanted to. Whenever I did my first drop, I knew that I was going to start getting busier, so I wouldn't have as much time to design.
To create,
So I wanted to have as much on standby as possible. And what led me to doing that drop was I would get the validation from my clients, like, hey, what do you think about this? And they would be like, bro, that's tough. Like, I would buy that. Like, I would wear that. Like, you know what I mean? I would get that so repetitively, like, okay, that's God reassuring me, because I learned God talks to you through other people. And if he's telling you the same thing from various people who don't know each other, that's God talking to you. So I was just like, you know what? I guess I'm going to do that. And I had to come out of pocket a lot of money, but that was, you know, as an entrepreneur, the risk is worth the reward. And so I put that money down, and, you know, there was a few people. Most of the time I didn't give away product because that was my first product. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
I had to get it out there and make my money back so I could make other things. Yeah. But funny enough, I just want to say that the shirt she's talking about, I got it on, she got it on.
The pants.
You know, well, the pants were my second release,
yeah.
but the shirt she got on, that was my first drop there, never ever restocking. And I did it that way because I want people to know that each piece I design is exclusive, and it's a community-based brand, but as the brand expands, you can date back to the pieces and be like, man, I was rocking with Lost Vizion since this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even
especially when you have a piece that is limited edition.
Exactly. That's how I love to do it. And then just a small little detail on these shirts, they actually have a tag where it says 2025 on there. Each piece I design will have the year that it was manufactured, just so people know, you know what I mean, how long they've been rocking with Lost Vizion.
You're so smart.
So.
Speaking of that, did you have like any mentors that inspired your entrepreneurship along your journey?
Not directly. I did have people that I looked up to. I gotta give you credit first off. You know what I mean? You are my mom. Like, you're an entrepreneur all around. But as far, I had two different mentor, or I guess I'm not gonna say mentors, 'cause they didn't mentor me.
But they inspired you.
Yeah,
So we're gonna say, who inspired you to think outside the box?
So in the music world, I know I haven't talked about that much, but there's a reason for that. In the music world, Travis Scott, just because he's from Mo City and I'm from Mo City, and if he's as known as he is, then why can't I be?
Right.
In the fashion world, shout out to Jaden Mitchell, the owner of Bottega Desires. He's not originally from Houston, but his brand was originated in Houston. And to see how big his brand has scaled in a matter of a year or two, I'm like, if he can do it, he literally did a drop where he made $500,000 in a matter of 5 minutes. If he can do that, then why can't I?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's nothing that separates me from him other than the effort and the work that you put in. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm on a mission to. There is no competition for me. I'm just trying to get Lost Vizion to scale as fast as it will. You know what I mean?
So building your brand with no handouts, just faith, heart, and consistency. Look, first of all, let me just say, I'm proud to be your mom. I'm so proud to be your mom. You know, and even though in some cases where it seemed like you didn't have help, you did. You always have me. You know, we pour into each other. I am so equally inspired by you. You know, you the youngest of my pack.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? But you're not a baby anymore. You're a grown man and you're making grown man decisions. And so I commend you because the average 19-year-old or 20-year-old or 21 or 22-year-old is not even thinking on that level. They still turning up in the club. But now you get your turn up on, but you handle your business in the process. And so that's very mature of you. And again, you know, I've always been an outside the box thinker. And I've always told you could do anything you want to do. You set your mind to it. You could vision, God will make provision.
Indeed.
And that's what he's been doing, even through all the hard times, even through all the setbacks. It's always been a setback for a comeback. And sometimes your comebacks be delayed gratification. What we think is a setback might be a setup. You know what I'm saying? Because through some of your setbacks, you did get set up. And you was able to take care of things on your own without having to go help. You even look out for your loved ones, you know. So I'm just proud of you. Now, your impact, seeing your brand literally go viral. How did that make you feel just to have that whole community of people behind you and your brand?
Really, first I want to give the glory to God because I feel like ever since I started really going down that path, that's when the big known people started being seen in Lost Vizion. Like at the timing of it was insane, but I feel like that's really when it expanded from just my close circle to a large community to people. There's people that I'm sorry that I just gotta express this before I answer your question.
Don't rush.
But there's people that literally text me or send me messages. They'll be like, "Bro, like I was just downtown. I seen someone wearing Lost Vizion on a scooter," or like they'll be in. Someone told me they seen someone wearing Lost Vizion at San Antonio. You know what I mean? It's just like in different. It's starting to branch out.
It happened to me. You remember when I was so excited? What restaurant was that?
I think
was
Panda Express.
Panda Express or was it Chipotle? It was Panda Express.
Yeah.
I was in Missouri City, like Sugarland area, and I had stopped by Panda Express, and I just came from the T-Mobile store, as a matter of fact. And it was a guy, he got out the car, and he had a Lost Vizion. I was like, that's my sunshine! That's my sunshine! So I jumped out the car, followed him into the store. I'm like, say, can I take a picture with you? He's like, you must be Trey's mom. I like literally hunt him down. I should have put that picture in the show, but I was just all teeth and gums. You hear me?
Yeah.
So let's talk about friends and connections. You have literally built a community just based off love and fellowship. What has been one of your tools to navigate through understanding who's coming to water the tree and who's just coming to grab the fruit?
Honestly, I thank God for the spirit of discernment. I gotta say that because of the kind of person I am, and I like to see everyone succeed. A lot of the people that have naturally gravitated my way, thankfully, hasn't there hasn't been too many leeches or anything like that. Usually, the people that do gravitate, they're supporting it and they're putting in work behind it as if it were their own. But that's because I treat them like they're my own, like they're my brothers or sisters. You know what I mean? I feel like when you show love to people, you get love back. When you make people feel like less, then they're gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna come back to you. So because I'm very intentional and I express my care to everybody around me. I don't never leave anyone out. Yeah, I don't never leave anyone out.
I be like, I love my team.
You know what I mean? But that's what makes it what it is, you know? Like, even for example, when I run into, say, influencers, right? There's some people that like might have clothes and be like, hey, can you wear my product, keep promoted? I don't never do that. One, my brand is meant to represent the visionary culture of the community. That's why on the side of the pants that we both have on say visionary. Because when you wear it, you feel it, you represent it. Now, when I give them product, I don't just ask them, hey, keep them on my product. It's more so, hey, I recognize you, I've been watching you since this, or since I know you're associated with him and I know them personally, then I know that you're a visionary person because I know he's a visionary person and he only hangs around people that are trying to elevate. So without, you know what I mean, once I see what you do, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got to give you your props because you do persevere. Like, you know what I mean, I don't know your story from beginning, but I know you definitely had to go through some ups and downs to get to where you are. So out of respect, here you go. Like, you know what I mean, I welcome visionary people because that's what it's meant to represent. And usually,
now you actually do a lot of love offering with your time.
Oh yeah.
You know, like behind the scenes where, and you know, we don't really document it, but there are times where you donate your services to people that you know going through a hard time that just need a little love. And so how does that make you feel to be able to pour into somebody else and not expect that return, but know that you were able to change someone's day or week just by giving them a haircut and making them feel fresh again?
Honestly, it makes me feel whole. I say I love for my people, you know what I mean, and I don't never expect anything in return. That's never the kind of person I've been. When I feel like you do God's work and God does work for you.
That's
so
right.
when you do things and you're expecting things to happen, you're doing it with the wrong intent. But when you're just doing it out of love and true intention, then like what goes around comes around. So eventually, if it might not come around from that person, there might be something else, or some strings might just magically be pulled to where you might be put in the right room or something like that. But
and I always tell people to, and I'll say it to you, a lot of times when you are a blessing to someone, when God decides to bless you, He's not going to use the same people that you're blessing.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Because, and when you are a blessing, it's better to be used from your overflow.
Yeah.
Because you're not depleting yourself. It's your overflow. That means you're not even expecting to get it back because it was going out anyway. But instead, you're using discernment to be able to navigate where your overflow is going. And because you're intentional about whatever that overflow may be, maybe it be time, ideas, fellowship, haircutting services, partnering with someone that has a brand that is looking for models as well. It builds community, it builds character, and it paves the way to be able to elevate to the next level because now you have somewhat of a family.
Yeah, circle of elevation.
You have a circle of elevation.
Yeah, you become the company you keep.
Yes, you are a summation of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
There you go.
Yeah. So, what advice could you give other young entrepreneurs that may be going through a season of self-doubt?
I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Don't ever doubt yourself, because doubt is the devil creeping into your mind when God's trying to tell you you can. You have the ability to create your reality, but that's all up to what you feed to yourself. If you tell yourself that you can't do it, then you're gonna ultimately believe you can't do it. So you have to keep telling yourself you can, no matter what it is, no matter how crazy the idea might be. You have to keep telling yourself that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish, because one thing that I've realized is that when I've kept speaking what I want into existence, there's been random things to just happen that'll help me along the way. A prime example, and this is just a personal example, when I had the idea of starting a clothing brand, I started designing on, not even designing, God kept telling me to put my logo on something. He just kept telling me to put my logo on something, so I was like, okay, I don't have no pencil and paper, so I used your touchscreen computer, which was a very outdated computer at the time, but it was still touchscreen.
Don't drag me, okay?
It was still touchscreen, so it did something. So I bought like a little touchscreen drawing pencil, and I bought it from Amazon. Tried to sketch the logo that I had. I'm talking about the second to third day, I'm literally sketching. Brother comes in out of nowhere. What you doing? I'm trying to sketch my logo. What you trying to draw? My logo for a clothing brand? Sure, I got an iPad that I don't use. You can have it if you want it. Brand new, untouched, factory reset it. You can't tell me that ain't God. Like for that iPad is expensive as hell, and I knew that's when I knew I was on the. That was the first sign that I knew I was on the right path, because for that to just fall into my lap out of nowhere, and that's the same iPad I create all my designs with to this day. That I just want to give a personal example to let you know how things will magically just start falling into place, but you have to really be passionate, intentional about what you want to do, and don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't do it, because you can. The sky's the limit. Don't let, sometimes the people that might help you in one way can also hurt you. Sometimes family members might tell you that you can't do it, but it's up to you to have that determination to know that you really can.
And it's so sad, and I'm glad that you think outside the box like your mama, because when you decided not to go to school, I really wasn't disappointed. You know, we had that conversation, and I'm like, look, I want you to go to college.
My father was disappointed. So, not to diss him, but
yeah, I know he was disappointed, you know, because he came from a background where having that piece of paper meant everything.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking him for that. I appreciate the structure that he provided into your life, because you had like a healthy blend of nurturing and structure.
Yeah.
And it made you so...
Gotta keep shit structured.
Huh?
No, I was making a joke.
Yeah. But you had a healthy blend of that. But when it came time, and I really thought about it, I remember how I felt when I first had kids at a young age, and I was on my own. I did it on my own, and the dreams that I had, anytime I would try to voice them to someone who couldn't relate, they couldn't relate. It was like, nah, you need to focus on them kids. You need to worry about going to work. You don't need to be doing no poetry. You don't need to be trying to write no books. You need to focus on going to work and them kids. But my life wasn't just working for somebody else and punching the clock. Like I had bigger dreams. And so when you came and you said, like, Mama, look, I want to go get my barber's license because I'm still young. I can always go back to college.
Yeah.
At least when I go back, I'll know what I really want to do, and I'm starting life out without being in debt. I'll be able to make money so that I can take care of myself and build my brand. And then once my brand is built, then I can go back to school, and it won't be like I'm starting life at a disadvantage. And it made sense to me. And so I was like, well, if you going to school just for me, then that's not why I want you to do it. Because essentially, you're not going to be as dedicated to it. You're going to do it because I want you to, but you're not going to be internally happy. So I support what makes you happy. And you ended up, you came back home after you lost your car, and that was that. Like, we thugged it out together. We did what we had to do, and we would sit in fellowship, and I would tell you about my dreams and goals, and you'd tell me about your dreams and goals, and we kind of would just like be in each other's ear. We were like each other's cheerleaders, because the world outside, our dreams too big for them to kind of like comprehend. And I'm so glad that you have that dreamer's mindset, but you also have the mindset to not just dream. I just told someone today, they was like, man, dreams coming true. I said, well, dreams don't come. Dreams are created.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you just sit and wait for a dream to manifest,
It'll never happen.
and you don't put in the work to be intentional about it, it's not gonna happen.
Faith without works is.
So you have always been intentional about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now on that note, speaking of being intentional in the community, we got another second commercial from Lost Vizion. We'll be right back.
High precision, they lost vision. 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 How we living, how we living, how we living, how we living, how we living. God damn it, how we living. That money in my veins, I do this for the game. At 2 a.m. it's time of going crazy, feeling swing. I jumping like a diver, say I'm flowing through the lane. Flooded and it's isolating, froze up all the pain.
Now, I know the world is wondering, because you so outside the box, what do we have to look forward to from Traymon? Because I did not mention that you also have a background in music. So you do music, you are a stylist as well. You style your own shoots, you do your own casting, you find your own models, you design your own brands.
Yep.
Like, you literally do it all. So what do we have to look forward to? Do we have some new music to look forward to? Some new clothes to look forward to?
Oh man.
What?
Oh man. Clothes. I definitely got some jackets and beanies being worked on, and they'll be ready for the winter collection for sure. The way these pants did, I just might have to restock and bring up the price, because the way everybody's been rocking them. Even Funny Mike got my pants. Like, that's a big accomplishment for me.
Shout out to Funny Mike.
But yeah, new clothes on the way for winter collection. Music, that will come soon. My thing is, I want to focus on one thing at a time, because I know I want to be able to use this overflow to pour back into the music. Because music, I don't want to have to depend on funds to make make music. You know what I mean? So I want to be already financially independent and be an inspiration to others in every way I can. So, but yeah, new music on the way. Shout out to Dirty Boys, Traymon and Jacquard. New clothes on the way soon. You know, we're just gonna keep elevating and keep creating. So.
I love it. Now, if there's one thing that you could have done differently on your journey, what would it have been?
Honestly, I know this sounds like a cliche, but probably nothing. I mean, everything I've been through has made me who I am today. Everything that I've experienced has made me who I am today. So I'm forever grateful for everything, ups and downs, the setbacks and the bounce backs, the people that I've had in my circle, just everything, you know. I just want to give this special shout out for people. Shout out to Lindsay, Linzo Lens. If it weren't for you, I don't know where I'd be. So I got to give you a great appreciation. Yeah, I really wouldn't change anything. And the reason I got to shout him out, because he used to be my high school teacher, and now that he works alongside Lost Vizion, and he was the one person who helped me get to where I needed to be when I had no car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got to give him a lot of credit.
And I mean, like, the photo shoots, the everything. He was right there with his camera too.
Yeah, my behind the scenes photographer. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the greatest gift from God I could ever ask for, aside from my parents, obviously. But yeah, I wouldn't do anything different, because like I said, it's brought me where I am today.
Mm-hmm. Now, you come from a blended family background. Yeah. Like,
Street,
you have siblings on your mom's side, and then you have siblings on your dad's side.
Too many.
Hey, he reached a lot of ways. Shout out to young mister. But so how does it feel to literally, like, be in an event and have siblings, cousins, just everybody rocking the brand, everybody working the table? How does that feel?
That's so amazing. Like, if you were there, you can ask them I literally kept repeating myself. I'm like, y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm so thankful just to say that behind this whole table is nothing but family. You got my little brother, you got my cousin, my other cousin, you got Lizzo, and one of my cousins was the main photographer / videographer. You got the other cousin that's a model, wearing the clothes, dancing, getting, you know what I mean? Everybody all put together, and they all made sure that everything was taken care of. Even when I may have stepped away from my vending booth, they already knew what
how to handle the mission.
So,
and you literally like fractured your foot at
at
a
a vending
vending
pop-up.
event, and you didn't even leave.
Because it happened at the very start. So I paid a vending fee. I got to make my money back. I ain't gonna lie. I waited 6.5 hours before I went to the ER off a fractured foot. But I was that dedicated because, like, one, I didn't want to be down, and two, like, I want to at least stay for this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You definitely your mama's son.
you got to push through it. It's called grit. Grit and determination. That's what makes character.
I love it. Well, again, I'm very proud of you. I can't say it enough. But for those that are listening and watching, tell us where we can find you. I know you have 2 IG pages. So the first one is the Traymon
Vision, Traymon VZN. That's my main page where you can see where I post my haircuts and my highlights, or where I post any pictures where I model for other brands, or, you know, sometimes I collaborate with Lost Vizion because a lot of times I like to model on my own brand. But yeah, my other Instagram is my clothing business, which is Lost Vizion, LOSTVIZN. In the future, whenever we become global, it may change to how the actual spelling is, LOSTVIZION. I just can't change it now because, you know, someone already has that name. So but once we're big enough to where I can override that, oh yeah, we getting Lost Vizion all the way.
All right, all right. And so if people want to go and get your merch, now that is LOSTVIZION.
Yes, make sure you always spell vision with a Z.
Yeah.
We like to be different.
There they can go and get some merch. Also, become a member, sign up to get the text, all those great things, and also go log on to get that new winter collection.
And do yourself a favor while you're looking at the website. Check out the About Us statement so you can see what Lost Vizion is truly about. And for those that are interested in becoming brand ambassadors, that is under work. So in a few weeks to a few months, more so a few weeks, we'll have that brand ambassador program listed on the website for you guys.
I like that. I like that. Way to scale their business. And so for those TikTokers out there, you also have a TikTok page, and that is the Lost Vizion TikTok page. You can follow him there. And for us Facebookers, I'm an older crowd. I like Facebook still. He also has his Facebook page as well. And I want to remind our viewers and our listeners that we are on multiple platforms. You can find us everywhere. We're on Third Coast TV, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker. We are everywhere. If you like what you hear, you want to be able to catch the visual, make sure you come on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can join the journey. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification so you can be notified when we drop the next segment. We would definitely love your subscription. So make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you would love to come and tell your story, Outside the Box with Onney is also casting. So submit your EPK and your press kit to otb.liveshow@gmail.com, and one of our casting directors will be sure to get back with you. If you like the quality of the content and you have a story you want to share or a brand you want to put out to the world, become a podcast content creator today by logging on to www.onneystudios.com or give us a call at 346-491-5315, and one of our admins will be happy to help you get your journey started. I want to thank you, Traymon, for just coming and letting me, your mama, do the honors of the official interview of Lost Vizion and Traymon, and just to, you know, get that scoop, because I've been asking you forever, when you gonna come on the show? When you gonna come on the show? And you just was like, Ma, I ain't ready. I want my brand to already be known and have a name, so I have something to talk about. And you did just that. And so I get excited every time I see someone out in your clothes. I'm like, that's my baby. That's your footprints in the sand. That's your legacy. So keep on doing it.
Thank you.
And keep on rocking. I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna take care of you before you start taking care of yourself. I'm gonna beat you to it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Look, you ain't got everything I say. I stand on. I gotta stay true tatted on my hands for a reason.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. So before we leave, before we go, you gonna drop a gem for the people that's watching?
Yeah. For those that are watching, make sure you stay true to who you are. Stay true to the people around you. Follow your goals. Don't ever let nobody tell you can't. And just show love. Show love to the people around you, even if it's a little, because a little goes a long way. There's some people that don't get love. So just, you know what I'm saying, be full of heart. You get what I'm trying to say. Just show a lot of love to the people that support you the most. And I feel like you can strive the furthest whenever you have that support system that you can create. But once again, you have the ability to create your reality. So power of the tongue. Speak what you seek until you see what you say.
Love it. And on that note, you are now plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box.
They lost vision, high precision. They lost vision, high precision. They lost vision, high precision. They lost vision. High precision, I'm popping bottles, living a couple models with me. I'm about to start a scrimmage, cash that future where we fucking.